Hi, Antoinette. How are you?
Hi, Laxima. How are you? Oh, it's Melinda. Hi,
Yes,
Melinda.
I am Melinda Roy. How is your day?
Oh, look, good. So it's just midday here. Not quite midday here yet, and it's quite cold here. And over there, you're in a heat wave, I understand.
Yes. So, can you please turn on your video? We cannot see you.
Yes, I can. Yes, of course. Let me just go to that. There we go.
Yeah. Hi. So, yes, before you start your presentation, I would like to introduce you to the audience. So,
Sure.
welcome on stage, Antoinette Colburn. Anthony Corbin expressed her delight at being the keynote speaker for IWD 2023 at Alphys Financial with the International Alliance for Women. She is a part of three-speaker format titled the Confident Woman series and has published a book called The Great Handbag. Don't forget your briefcase. She is a recognized author, facilitator, MC, and feature writer. Antoinette has spoken to groups such as Women Chiefs of Enterprise International, She Business, and Ray White Mossman. She has also been a panelist for International Women's Day events at law firms, financial women's groups, and CPA groups. Her emceeing experience includes conferences and gatherings, and she has facilitated Women's Talk Fest and panel discussions. Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction. So, yes, you can start your presentation. Good luck.
Okay. So what I'd like to do, Melinda, is share my screen, please.
Yes,
So I'm going to provide a PowerPoint presentation for everybody to see.
yeah.
So if our audience can just hang on. And I'm just going to go into presentation mode. So what I want to do is I want to talk about the importance of knowing where we stand from a very young age, particularly women, in terms of financial literacy.
Sorry to interrupt you, Antoinette. Are you
Yes.
sharing your screen?
Sorry, say it again.
Are you sharing your screen?
Yes, please.
No,
Can
we
you see
cannot.
it?
We cannot see. Yeah.
You can't see my screen.
No.
Oh, okay. Just hang
So
on one tick.
yeah. Can you please click on the arrow, upward arrow beside mic?
Where the mic is.
Beside camera.
Okay, just hang on one tick. Oh, share. If I put share there, it should do it. No, just hang on. I'm just going to go back. It's going to go back. Sorry, just help me again if you wouldn't mind, Melinda. There seems to be a bit of an issue here. So if I go to where the mic is, yes, that's my audio.
Yeah, beside mic you can. Hi, Antoinette. Yeah. Can you
Yes.
please send
Me?
your PowerPoint present to us so that we can share from our side?
Yes. So who do I send it to, though, please?
You have
I've got
already
it here.
sent? Yeah,
Yes, it
so we
was
will
sent.
share from our side, okay?
That'd be better, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. Just ask our audience to be patient, if you don't mind, while we sort out a technical issue. Aha, that looks better. Okay, that's fine. There was another one that I had sent as well, but the later one, but I can work with this one, so that's okay. Are we right in terms of audio, please?
Hi, Antoinette.
Hi, here we go. This is a slightly different presentation, but my message is the same. So it's okay, Melinda, we'll work with this one. I did send a later one, but that's okay because the audience will still be able to see exactly what I'm referring to as I speak. So my message is very much about knowing as young people, particularly young women, what it is that we need to do to prepare in life for change when change happens. So the recent COVID epidemic is a very good case in point, where everybody in business was going along swimmingly, but then suddenly there becomes a bit of a change. So we might just go on to the next slide, please, Sheikh, if you don't mind. We'll just slip through those slides if we can, please. That's great. So what I say to everybody is do everything in your life that you wish for. You might have a job as a corporate person, an employee, but you also might run your own business. And if you do run your own business, it's very, very important to do what you can in your fabulous life, but also to take care of your finances, to make sure that every single step of the way in your life, particularly your young life, you know precisely what is going in and what is going out of your account. If you're a business person and you have a partnership, then equally it's very, very important for you to know with your partner in business or your personal partner, say a husband or wife, exactly what's going on. Make all decisions a joint one. We'll move to the next slide now, please. So what's the important thing to do is to arm ourselves with additional information if we need to do that. Now, in life, as we're doing today through WIN conferences, it's really important to add to our skills base and add to our education where we possibly can. So you become the go-to person on your subject. Now, in my case, I had personal experience where we had a multi-million-dollar company, but the law changed within Australia in one particular state around that issue, and that meant that business had to close. I was standing in the kitchen of my home when my husband told me we would have to sell our house. I had two small girls at school. I was paying school fees, doing all of those things. Suddenly, whammo, bang, stop. What happens is if the income stops, then your choices stop. So the very most important thing is to discuss issues jointly that might affect you down the track. Because when life is going swimmingly, we don't always think about the what ifs. We don't always think about the risk that we might be taking when things could change. So it's very, very important that we have discussions as we go. We might move on, Sheikh, to the next slide, please. So, in the discussions that I have had and the talks that I have given, it's always been interesting to me at the end of my keynote when someone comes up to me and says, "Oh, that happened to us," or "That almost happened to us." It's a situation where if we only had the opportunity to think differently or to plan differently at the time, that we may not have had the adverse outcome that ended up happening, as happened in our case. So in my case, when everything changed and that business folded, I knew that I was the one in my family. I was definitely the one who would have to step up and take over and try and make good again. So what did I do? The first thing I did was see a doctor to say I'm not coping. I'd go in to wash my hair. My husband would take the girls off to school and I'd go in to wash my hair and I couldn't stop crying. I just cried and cried and cried because I couldn't believe the shock that this sudden bit of information about having to sell the family home made me feel. And I thought, where's my power gone? Where's my choice gone? It's all gone. So every single thing that I might have been in charge of, in control over, had choices about, that all went. And so suddenly I realized I was the one who had to step up and make good again. So I sought help from my GP. She sent me to a psychologist. Don't ever think that you're too proud to go and get that sort of help. Wherever you are in our globe, it's always important to get good help. If you get good help, someone out there is able to say to you, it's okay. This is what we can do. These measures will put in place. And the rest of it will take care of itself. On the business front, I had to run that business. I had to keep going. And not only that, I actually had to step up and make decisions and take on extra work in order to grow that business. When your head's in a mess, you don't know what your future's like. The lifestyle you had is suddenly bang gone. You think you're going to go mad. You think, why has this happened to me? So what I did after I sought that initial help was I thought, well, I'm going to have to move on. I'm absolutely going to have to do what I can to salvage this situation. So the most important thing is to be able to look at what's happened. What's happened? Why has it happened? If you don't do that, you cannot heal. It's terribly important. And you do get this. You will hear this from psychologists and those in the know. So it's terribly, terribly important to be able to look, yep, I acknowledge, I can see what's happened. Touch the negative person who tries constantly to come over your shoulder just to remind you of the negative. Push those negatives away. Look at the good things. Be grateful for something every day and say to yourself, I'm onto this. I can do what I can to fix it. Surround yourself with other women. That is so important because other women get it. We are so capable as pioneering women, no matter what country we're born in, that we are able to run with a challenge, to work through a challenge. But by bringing other women into the fray, they become our support network. You think of all of the things that you do in business or in your corporate life where other women you engage with. Other women are remarkable. So I surrounded myself with these business groups. I started speaking like I'm doing today, mainly to live audiences, but I've done lots as well. I have had 4 International Women's Day keynote speaks in a row for the last 4 years because this subject of dealing with change, particularly as an older female, is so vital, not only for us to understand, not only for us to teach our sons and daughters about, but more specifically so that we know with motivation, the right support network, education around this subject, that we are able to dig ourselves out and come out the other side. In terms of my business, yes, I've grown it. Has it been easy? No. Growth in a business is not a cakewalk. Growth in a business takes time, energy, money, stimulation, motivation, and very specific set of skills. It is very, very important that we get help in business. And in business, it is about relationship building. So I wear two hats. One is I provide expert witnesses in that benchmark experts practice. So I'm providing for law firms on a daily basis key surgeons, physicians who are able to look at a medico-legal case or a medical negligence case or a personal injury case, motor vehicle accident, whatever, look at that situation and get the right expert to say that wasn't done properly. That should have been done. That child should have been flown to a major hospital, not left in a regional centre where that child deteriorated and in some cases ultimately succumbed to death. Those are the challenges that I have every single day. It is, for me, very motivating to be in that business, although it has its challenges, deadlines every single day. But I can work with that business knowing that I'm doing the very best for my clients to be able to get the very result for their client, their paying client. When I look at the way I managed to dig myself out of a hole, the lifestyle will never be what it was. That's impossible. There will never be those wonderful choices and just investment properties and all that sort of stuff. It's still a struggle, but I'm okay about it because I know that I have done good for my family. And I know that by speaking to you today, 125 of you around the world, that I'm sharing a story, a real life story that did happen to me. And I'm still surviving. I'm still here to tell that story. It becomes a story to share because people, particularly women, are very, very interested in what I have done in order to make good again. Now, I wrote my book, Great Handbag, Don't Forget Your Briefcase. I entitled it that way because great handbag, every girl loves a great handbag, but it's important to not just concentrate on the fluffy stuff. It's important to know that financial literacy is not something we contract out. We have a responsibility to know our numbers in business or just in life. We have a responsibility to know that perhaps a husband or a partner or whatever who everything might be going swimmingly, one day may not be there. It could be through a terminal illness. It could be through anything. But what we have to do is know our strengths as women, to know that we can step up, we can take over where we need to. So I wrote that book because I needed to get my thoughts down. I needed to get my anger down. I needed to get my motivation down. I needed to write down in that book the way I felt, but I also wanted to share the methods that I engage, such as joining those women's groups, such as reaching out for initial health and well-being, because I knew I couldn't do that on my own. I needed to do that. And so I wrote it down to share in that book the methods I engaged in order to survive. I really implore you to talk to your daughters, talk to your sons, talk to the young women in your organization and say to them, have you ever had a conversation with your partner, be it in business or your personal partner? Have you ever had a conversation to say to them, do you know your numbers? Do you know where your bank accounts are? Do you know where your will is, or your husband's will, or your partner's will? Do you know how to get to the lawyer who looks after your family matters? These are fundamental things. I talk to schools. I talk to senior students at schools to say to these senior students, we need to know the basics. They're often taught commerce or economics, and many of them go on to university to learn those skills deeply. But in our school system around the world, we need to teach the basics. And in Australia, we aren't doing that very well. So whenever I have an opportunity to talk to senior school students about those basics, then that is precisely what I do. I'm very happy to share my story. I'm very happy to have had the opportunity to talk to you today, and I just wish you well. Don't consider that you're not up to dealing with change. Anyone on this call. Don't consider it's too late for you to start your own business. It's never too late, and you're never too old. There's so much out there for us. There's so much that we can do as responsible women in order to be able to make our world great again. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hi, Melinda.
Hi, Antoinette. Thank you so much for the wonderful presentation today. And
Good.
yeah, so one more speaker is there for this day two event. And thank you so much for sharing your valuable and knowledgeable information with us. And
Mm,
hoping to join our future conferences as well, and also day three event to share your love and questions to the speaker. And
sure.
sure. Thank you. Thank you so much. And have a great day. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thanks, Melinda, so much for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join our last speaker for the day. Um, ఏం పేరు స్మైలీ